right. Hey guys. I I figured it out. So we're ready for day 2 of the Tutorpreneur challenge. And today I'm going to be teaching you how to tutor online with ease. Yesterday, we talked about how to get more clients without spending a bunch of money on marketing. So if you missed that video, I have the recap in our Facebook group, but it's also available at my website on mollywheatley.com/recap. There's a workbook each day. So today, if you want to grab the workbook that's already on my website for day 2, I will put it in the Facebook group when we get done with today's training. So I'm excited to talk about tutoring online with you all because it's such a hot thing right now. And there's just a few things that I think you need to be successful. And I will probably surprise you with how easy it really is. So we are in the second day of our 4-day challenge. And like I said yesterday, every day I'm going to be going live on Facebook. I'll be going live again tomorrow and Sunday. And you can catch the replay on my website, like I said earlier, too. So if you can't make every day, that's fine. I want you to be able to consume the content when you can and get the most out of this challenge. Okay, so yesterday we talked about getting more clients without spending a bunch of money on marketing. I gave you my email template for that and assigned you to send that to 10 people that you know. Today, we're going to talk about how to tutor online with ease. Tomorrow, we'll talk about multiple streams of income for tutors. And the last day, Sunday, we'll talk about what to put in a tutoring contract. Okay, I also mentioned this yesterday, but Instagram is where you can find me the most active. So I'd love it if we could become friends there. My handle is Molly A. Wheatley, and I post at least twice a day and lots of tips and tricks for your tutoring business. So there's always something that you can learn from one of my posts, and send me a DM if you have questions or you want me to post more about something. I love connecting with you guys on there. And I did introduce myself yesterday, but quickly, if you're joining me for the first time, I'm Molly Wheatley. I am a tutoring business coach. I run my own tutoring business, but I also help teachers and tutors start and grow their own tutoring business. I am a first grade teacher myself. I'm on YouTube and I blog, and I have a dog, and I love coffee. So all the fun things about me. Okay, so let's get into why you might want to be tutoring online. One of the best things about tutoring online that we learned this past year with how crazy everything was is that you could do it safely from home. And more people are realizing how nice it is to get to work from home. And as teachers, we work all day, let's say in the classroom, and then when you come home, you're tired and you might not feel like going back out and tutoring some kids. But what if you could do it from the comfort of your own home office? And what if you didn't have to drive anywhere or have to have all these buffers of time put in for the different clients that you're trying to meet their needs? Online, you can just get on Zoom, Google Meets, however you want to do it, and you just get to start working with kids right away. It's the perfect solution for all of those problems that you might be having with physically going somewhere for tutoring. Another great part about tutoring online is that just like any kind of tutoring, you get to work one-to-one with kids or small groups. Um, I think that is something we'll definitely touch on tomorrow with the multiple streams of income, is creating small groups that you can work with online, because you can get more bang for your buck and you can also help a lot more kids at one time. With tutoring online, you can also set your own rate, your hours, you make all of the rules. It's just such a beautiful thing when you get to be in charge of your own schedule. You get to tell people how much you are worth, and making the rules is just the best part about tutoring. And you can start making money immediately. Like we talked about yesterday, tutoring is one of the only side hustles that puts money in your pocket right away. I could come to your house today and tutor your kid and then say, I expect the payment right away, and you write me a check or give me cash, and I can right away go use that money for something. And so it's not a long game like so many online businesses are. It's instant payment for your services. Okay, so why tutoring online working for yourself? Okay, so what I mean by that is there's a lot of companies out there that you could work for. And I think that's wonderful. If that's how you're first getting started and you're going to work for a different company to get your name out there and get some experience, of course, that's great. But what I'd like to see you do is start moving to working for yourself. And that can take some time if you're not in the classroom anymore or if you were never a classroom teacher. But there are kids, like we talked about yesterday, that you know that you can easily start working with. I think we just overthink things a lot. And that's the same with trying to get tutoring clients. So I'm going to push you to try to work for yourself eventually down the road if that's not something you're doing right now, but you want to start your own tutoring business so you can really gain that sense of autonomy. And the number one reason is because you get to keep 100% of the income. And that is so, so important when it comes to paying off things, meeting your monthly income goal, taking your kids on a trip. Keeping all of the money for yourself, for your hard earned time is so wonderful. And again, I'm going to reinforce these things constantly because I'm such a big believer in having your own tutoring business. You get to set your own rules, you get to be your own boss, and it can lead to other opportunities that you might not ever thought possible. You could create a mini course out of your tutoring business. And from those kids that took your tutoring sessions, you think of this amazing idea, something that goes along right hand in hand with what you work on in your tutoring sessions, and you can create a mini course. And then that can lead to more income passively while you sleep, which is something we will definitely touch on tomorrow. Okay, a lot of people will ask this question. And so I'm going to give you like a rough estimate for a 30, 45, 60-minute session. I think 60 minutes would be a very long session for smaller children. It can be done, and if a parent requests it, you can see how it goes. Older kids, high school, college level, you might need the whole hour. You might need a 45-minute session. I think elementary age kids, usually 30 minutes is a really good chunk of time. And if it's structured and you have the same routine, then tutoring online works the same way that tutoring in person does. So I've given you kind of like minute blocks here, and they probably don't add up to 30, but it's just kind of an estimate of what I do and what I have found that works really well in my online tutoring business. So 1 to 3 minutes greeting. What I mean by that is you're chatting. What have you been up to? Preferably, you're going to remember something that they said last time. So if they told you, last week was their brother's birthday and they were going to have a party at the park, bring that up. Talk about that with them. You guys, a lot of you are teachers, so you know these things that building connections is everything. And you're not going to have a successful tutoring session with someone if they don't feel like they know you, they like you, they trust you. All of those things are so important. Okay, so after you've kind of warmed them up, said something familiar, took an interest in them, you need to do some kind of a review of what you did last time. So that means like, okay, last time we talked about the short, the short E. Short E says eh. Okay, and then talk about that and see if they remember what you talked about and kind of get their mind primed for what you're going to do today. So then you go into the bulk of the lesson between 10 and 15 minutes. Again, this is more for a 30-minute session. You're going to be introducing the new material, working on it with them. That includes the guided portion of it. So guiding them through what they're supposed to be learning. And then there is going to be a little bit of independent practice time. So you're showing that they're proving that they kind of understood the concept and they can move forward with it. And I always like to leave at least 5 minutes at the end for some kind of game. It could be a game that's related to what you were doing. It could be something completely unrelated. I always keep things in my tutoring backpack when I'm physically in person. But when it's kids online, You can do the whiteboard. That's really motivating for little kids. There's different websites that you can find games on and let them have some free time on there as long as you're doing it with them. There's different interactive games that you can do that will incentivize them to do well in the session and also reward them for doing well. I'm a really big believer in the classroom as well as in my tutoring business that kids are just like adults. You know, we go to work and we get a paycheck and they do the work, and there should be some kind of reward involved too. Not just, well, you should be doing this because it's what I expect, because that's not motivating to them. And if you want the best out of them and you want them to try their hardest for you, then incentivizing them in a positive way, positive reinforcement is always going to give you the most reward for your time. And they're gonna be excited when they pop online to see you. I have an online tutoring client right now I've worked with for over a year, and her face just lights up every time I turn the camera on. And I feel the same way about her. We just have built that relationship and we can sit and talk, and it just feels really natural. And I've actually never met her in person, even though she lives in the same town as me. And it feels like I've known her for years. So I know you can do the same thing. You just have to really implement the strategies that you already do in person and translate them to online, and just stop second guessing yourself and be confident. Okay, so how do I get clients online? Well, that can be kind of tricky if you overthink it. So stop overthinking it. So you can use the same email template that I provided you with yesterday, meaning you change the wording to imply that you are tutoring online. There's going to be parents that really will prefer that right now. They are still iffy about people being in their house because of germs. Maybe it works better for their schedule for them to just be able to pop online with you instead of having to have you come over to their home, or vice versa. Maybe they're coming to your house. So just make sure you use that in your language, and letting parents know, like I just said, that you offer those online services, being straightforward. If that's what you want to tutor in, it's just online, then that's fine. You just need to be straightforward with them and let them know. And maybe even having a Zoom session like this and going over, having some slides prepared and going over what you do online and showing them, this is the problem, this is the solution to your problem, this is how I fix it, these are proven results that I've gotten. Testimonies are gold. And if you can get some testimonials from past clients and put them in a slide presentation like this, oh, they will just eat that up and want to hire you right away. And they'll never have a doubt in their mind about tutoring online. Okay, so the workbook today, there's a blank page that says you're going to make a list of the items you need. So I'm going to go over the things. So we talked about the structure of what an online session is going to look like, but I'm going to talk about the tools that I think hands down are going to make tutoring online not only easier for you, make you look more professional, but just really enhance the whole experience. And these are things that I think that I've learned over time that I really needed and that I couldn't live without now. And I really I think you can get by without them, but I think it's going to be better if you get them. Okay, so I'm going to show them to you. I don't that they were in my slides, but I think they disappeared. So I had some pictures of them. I think I'll show you this. In this workbook, there is a page with all of these items. Here we go. There they are. So the first thing I think you need is an extra monitor. The reason why is if you're working on a laptop or even a desktop, having to toggle back and forth when you're on Zoom gets really annoying because you are trying to, like, oh, I can't see your face now. Okay, I'm pulling this up. But if you have it on another screen, it's so much easier to display a book or to show them a science lesson. I'm telling you, once you get a second monitor, you will never look back. So this is actually the one I have, and I have a Dell and I also have a Apple, but it works with either computer that you have. And I just like the size of this screen. I feel like it's exactly what I need, and it really, really helps. And you'll find too that in your tutoring business, when you get more in depth and you start blogging, or if you start creating more Instagram posts, having two screens where you can have something you're looking straight at and then your content on the other side is just so amazing. And it makes you get work done faster and more efficiently. Okay, so extra monitor. And these are all clickable links. So if you want to like see the exact thing that I have, then it'll take you there because sometimes people want it, to see what I use. Another thing is a document camera. The one that I currently have is older, so this is a newer one, but the brand is IPEVO. I think I'm saying that correctly. This is so wonderful if you are teaching anything where you need to show what you're looking at. For example, I teach first grade. I taught first grade online from home this year. Handwriting is a huge part of teaching first grade. And so I had to show them constantly a pencil grip and proper handwriting when we were doing our phonics lessons and everything that goes along in that. Even like showing them a handwriting sheet, being able to see my hand, the way it's moving. I don't know how you could do that. You can't just keep holding it up in front of the main camera. The document camera zones in on it and shows them exactly what your expectation is of what you're doing. So the same as with tutoring, I use the document camera all the time. There are plenty of little early reader books that I have that you just can't find online anywhere, but I can show them with my document camera. So I would really encourage you to get that as well if you are wanting to tutor online. It just will really enhance what you're able to do with your clients. And then the last thing I think that really helps is a laptop stand if you're using a laptop. I have my computer on one right now. And what I like about it is that it keeps you at eye level instead of looking down. And so it makes it just easier for you in general so that you don't get, I always call it nerd neck, where you've got the hunch and your neck's kind of hunched. So that's a really inexpensive thing you can add to your tutoring toolkit. And I would recommend that if you're using a laptop. If you're using a desktop, there's definitely ways to put your monitor up like on a stack of books. But the reason this one works so well is because it angles it. And that's just really nice, in my opinion. So those are the three things I think that are kind of almost non-negotiable at this point for me that I just feel like I couldn't live without in my tutoring business. But what I want you to do today with the workbook, which is already on my website, but again, I'll put it in the Facebook group, is you're going to use this next page and list anything you think you need, because maybe it's those three things. Maybe you need some online resources. You're not really quite sure what to use. And I have a couple YouTube videos about that. If you're doing anything literacy based about how to use Raz Kids Reading A to Z, something to check out. There's even science stuff that is on that website. It's worth every penny. So you might need to really research what you're going to be doing. Maybe you need to make the slideshow like I was talking about so you could talk to parents about what you offer. So really brainstorm everything that you think you're going to need, because once you have those things in place, you're going to feel more confident and you're going to be able to get clients a lot easier because you'll have everything in place. Another thing that I would really encourage you to do is to practice with someone. If you have not ever practiced on Zoom, it's not something that I think that you can just do. I think you really need to say like, hey, to someone that you feel comfortable with, will you please get on Zoom and practice with me? I need to practice screen sharing. I need to practice pulling up the whiteboard. I need to practice using my document camera. I need to practice giving you the host privileges. It's something you can easily get the hang of after you've practiced, but you don't want to make your first tutoring session online your practice session. So again, practice with a friend, somebody you trust. So you're going to make a list of the items that you need for your homework. You're going to practice with a friend, and you're going to use the hashtag Tutorpreneur Challenge on social media and really pump yourself up that you're going to start tutoring online, or any part of this challenge, just sharing what you're doing to enhance your own tutoring business and get it going, because that really gets the energy and the momentum moving in the right direction for you. It helps with the I don't know where to start feeling that a lot of us have. It gets you started. And like I said, the momentum will just continue with you. And then that way you can cheer on your tutoring friends too. So, tomorrow, I am really looking forward to multiple streams of income, talking about that with you guys. We will do the same thing where I go live at noon again tomorrow. I'm going to make the same time consistent for our next couple days. So I hope that you will join us at noon, same time, same place. And I will be talking about that. And then on Sunday, what to include in a contract. So I know that is equally exciting as well to hear all about. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you got something out of this training, and I look forward to seeing you guys all tomorrow.